Hey guys, it's Miss Gross here. I'm going to talk to you about circumference of circles today. Before we get started, we need to kind of know some of our terminology. A circumference is the distance around the circle, so kind of like the perimeter of the circle. And the diameter, remember, is the distance across the circle. And the radius is the distance from the center to any point on the circle. So to calculate the circumference, long ago, they started finding the relationship between the distance around a circle. It's not as easy to calculate the distance of a round object around, but they started seeing a relationship of approximately 3 times bigger. The distance across the circle times 3 would give you approximately the distance around. And the more they dug into it, and like this is ancient mathematicians, they kept getting closer and closer, like 3.1, 3.14, but they could never get an exact number. And so that's why we use the pi button. That's why we use pi. Pi is the irrational number that we use to determine the relationship between the diameter of the circle and its circumference. And so I know that's a lot of things swimming in your head, but I wanted to make sure that you know why we use pi. Now, we've tried to rationalize it, and so many times you'll see use 3.14, and some of you all have memorized it for several digits, which is awesome. They've even used the fraction form 22 over 7, 22 sevenths. And when I take 22 and divide by 7, I get 3.1428, which is close, but again, not exact because pi can't be rationalized. And so when we're doing the diameter and the circumference, what we want to do is we are going to use the 3.14 for this one. And so we're going to multiply 3.14 by the diameter. So circumference is pi times diameter. Circumference is also pi times radius times 2, because remember, the diameter is just twice as big as the radius. So let's do a few of these. So diameter is 4, so we're going to do 4 times pi, and we're going to rationalize it with 3.14. So 3.14 times 4 would give us 12.56. And we got that one right. Now we're given the radius, and remember, we want the distance across. We want the whole thing, so we're going to double that. So do 3 times 2, which is 6. So then we're going to do 6 times 3.14, and that's 18.84. And this one, there's no picture here, but you see that it's the radius, and remember, we want the diameter. So we're going to do, if the radius is 1, the diameter is 2. So we're going to do 2 times 3.14, and we get 6.28. And this one, we have its diameter, which is 6, and so we're going to do 6 times 3.14. I think we had that one before. 6 times 3.14 is 18.84. Let's move to a harder level. Actually, no, this is a good question. The circumference of the circle is 31.4. What's its diameter? So sometimes you're given the circumference and you have to figure out the diameter. Remember, you're just working backwards here, kind of like in algebra. We know the circumference and we want the diameter. So instead of multiplying by 3.14, we're going to divide by 3.14. So we're going to take 31.4, divide it by 3.14. Y'all are seeing a pattern here a little bit, and we get 10. So 10 would be its diameter. And if you weren't sure and wanted to check, do 10 times 3.14 and make sure you get 31.4. Well, there we go. The circumference is 37.68. What is its radius? Okay, so let's take that 37.68 and let's divide by 3.14, and that gives us 12. 12 is its diameter. So if its diameter is 12, the radius is going to be half of it, so we take 6. So when you get problems like this, you're just working backwards. The radius is 16. What's its circumference? Well, we need the diameter, so we need to do times 2 here. So the diameter would be 32, and we're going to do 32 times 3.14, and we get 100.48. All right, and then I'm going to go to a harder one. Let's jump a level. The diameter is 12. What's its circumference? So that one's just 12 times 3.14. All those other ones were harder than this. 37.68. And the radius is 24. What's its circumference? So if the radius is 24, then the diameter is 48. So we're going to do 48 times 3.14. 150.72. And this one I want to go, this is the last one I want to do. The circumference is 56.52. What is its radius? So let's work backwards. 56.52 is the circumference. We're going to divide that by 3.14. That gives us 18. 18 is its diameter. So if its diameter is 18, the radius is half of that. So it would be 9. All right. Let's do one challenge one. Let's see what it is. Okay. Circumference is 307.72. What's its diameter? You're going to do it the exact same way. 307.72. We're going to divide that by 3.14. And the diameter is 98. And it's asking for the diameter, so we're going to put in 98. All right. I hope this helped you, and I hope you do really, really well on this, and I hope several of you get 100 SMART score on this. Have a great day.